Hello, everyone. My heart reaches out to each and every one of you in Asia and in India who are affected by the ongoing COVID-19 pandemic. Our thoughts are with you, with your families, and with your loved ones during this time. And I am so proud of the India Trailblazer community and my team who have helped bring to life and spearhead the incredible community vaccine drive in an effort to save thousands of lives. Now, this is what community is all about. We take care of each other. We help each other when times are tough. We are all truly a family. And thank you to everyone who has worked so hard to bring this vaccine drive to life.
It's very important we stay healthy and fit. At least 4 days a week, let's exercise. On that note, until my last breath, I would work out and exercise. I swear on Aditya. Welcome to another exciting episode of Dev Talkies, packed with inspiring interviews, fun-filled game show and latest updates. Without further delay, let's go to Satya for what's in the news.
I regularly walk at home to keep myself fit. The success mantra of healthy life is regular exercise. The same holds good for the platform. Salesforce does regular updates to keep the platform fit. I believe you are getting my point. Yes, today we are going to cover Summer 21 updates in our platform news. We'll then see what's coming up for the Salesforce developers, and we'll see what our extraordinary Trailblazers are doing these days. Finally, we'll do a quick round of news items. All orgs are on Summer 21 now. Let's see some of the features and enhancements in this release. The long-awaited LWC feature, Quick Actions, is now generally available. There are two types of Quick Actions, Screen Actions and Headless Actions. The Screen Actions are similar to a standard Quick Action. It takes a Lightning Web component and opens it in a model on the page. The headless actions can be used to invoke JavaScript with a click of a button. You need not define any user interface. You can expose your LWC component as an action by setting the target to Lightning Record Action in the meta file. You can check this blog to learn more about Quick Actions. It also covers the new base component, Lightning Quick Action panel. With this, you can add a header and footer to your LWC model in Quick Action. A new mandatory security update is effective from June 12, Summer 21 release. Let's see what it is. The new security update prevents access to private or protected Apex getters from Aura and Lightning Web components. This example one Apex controller has a counter property that has a private getter. This Aura enabled method returns an instance of example1. With the security update enforced, the getData method call will no longer have access to the counter value, which leads to the runtime error. In this blog, developer advocate Philip shared a solution to scan such Apex properties. You can check it. You can now implement much better user experiences with the new multi-column screens in flows. Here I am in Flow Builder. I have a contact info screen where I can enter the contact details. Let's run it. You can see that it has a linear layout of input elements in a single column. Let's go back to the Flow Builder and edit the contact info screen. Here you can see a new component called section. Let's drag and drop into the screen. On the right side bar, you can add columns to make it multi-column. Let's add a couple of columns. Let's now organize the input elements in these columns by dragging and dropping. Let's save it and run once again. Now you can see the newly designed user experience in action. Salesforce Developer Tools CLI and Extension Pack have weekly release cadence. Let's see some of the new features for Summer 21. We can check the changes in the file against the org using SFDX diff file against org. With the latest release, you can now check the changes in the folder against org. Here you can see so many files changed in my classes folder. Now let's see what's new in CLI. You can get the approximate count of the records in standard or custom objects using the new command sfdx force limits record counts display. You can use the -s flag to specify the class list. For example, here you can see that I have approximately 23 records in my account object. The community has contributed to this command. Thanks to the community. Do you want to quickly check the files that will not be pushed to the org? You can use the command force source ignored list. Here is the list of files that are not pushed to the org. This refers to the .forceignore file to determine the list of ignored files. I have a lot more updates to share. Let's catch up with some more updates in our quick news. Let's now look into some event news. The countdown started for the TrailheaDX. It is just 5 days away. If you haven't registered yet, register for free. It is packed with technical episodes, cutting-edge demos, watch parties, circles of success, and much more. You can use the agenda builder to plan the sessions that you want to attend. The agenda builder has the list of all the sessions. You can mark your favorite sessions and add it to your calendar. You can check this blog on developer.salesforce.com to learn more about TrailheaDX. I'm super excited to share the next event. Get ready for the first ever global Dreamforce. Dreamforce 2021 will be more inclusive than ever. It happens both in person and new digital experiences available for everyone from anywhere. It happens from September 21st to 23rd. So set a reminder. It's now time for my favorite segment, Community Focus. I know people who share food. I know people who share money. And what's more important is share knowledge that enables people to do whatever they want to do. Today, we have two Trailblazers in Community Focus who share knowledge with other Trailblazers. And they share name with each other. Both are called Santanu, a 23x certified Salesforce MVP. Started his Salesforce journey in 2016. You can find Santanu Boral answering queries in Stack Exchange or writing some blog with passion. You can visit santanuboral.blogspot.com to learn the latest content. Every blog on the site is well written. Each blog has a pattern. It has a motivation behind this blog, what is the use case, the possible end results, and the solution approach. He creates the flow diagram of the components and implements them. You can also check his other blog posts on lighting web components, and you can find tips on earning the Salesforce certifications. Let's now hear from Santanu Boral.
My name is Santanu Boral. I am Salesforce MVP and Journey to Salesforce mentor and Kolkata Developer Group leader. I love to share my knowledge through Stack Exchange and writing posts through my blogs on Salesforce. So keep learning and keep sharing your knowledge.
I love playing chess. Many people love playing chess. But there are few people who implement the game. Santanu Paul has explored a fun way of learning lighting web components. He has implemented a chess game using LWC and SLDS. Learning is fun. Sharing knowledge is even more fun. Santanu Pal has created a step-by-step learning path for lighting web components in his blog site santanu@online.com. It covers topics starting from basics to advanced concepts in LWC. You can also learn LWC open source. You can learn more advanced concepts like DOM manipulation in lighting web components through videos in his site. Let's now hear from Santanu Pal.
Hey guys, hope you're doing well. I am Santanu Pal. Currently I am leading Salesforce Kolkata Developer Community Group. I like to share my idea, my knowledge to Trailblazer community members. I have learned so many good things from the Trailblazer community members. I have built many powerful Lightning Web components using Salesforce standard library. I like to create a game using LWC using open source library, as well as I have built recently chess game by LWC. You can visit my blog shantanu80online.com, as well as visit my social channel LinkedIn and Twitter. That's it for today. Continue learning, keep breathing, be healthy and stay safe. Thank you everyone.
Both Santanus do a lot more together. They lead the Kolkata developer group and have created a Telegram channel which is very dynamic. Thanks to all the Trailblazers who are helping each other through the Telegram channel, and a special thanks to both of you, Shantanu Paul and Shantanu Boral, for whatever you are doing for the community to achieve success. Now it's time to wrap with a quick round of news items. Building your own LWR template is now available in all supported editions without purchasing CMS. Previously, the template was available in Developer Edition or when you purchase Salesforce CMS in Enterprise, Performance and Unlimited editions. Build your own LWR template now includes a theme panel. As a result, you can brand your sites more efficiently with various colors, images and text. Transaction finalizers are now generally available. You can attach actions to asynchronous Apex jobs using transaction finalizers. Support ends for API versions 7 to 20. These versions will be retired in summer 22. You can now upload more data to enhance model accuracy for instant object detection. The image dataset can be a maximum of up to 10 GB. It was 2 GB earlier. That's all for today's news. I'll get back to some stretching exercises. Keep trailblazing.
Where there is a will, there is a way. What if a genius had the will? There is nothing stopping them from what they want to achieve. I'm not talking about my story. Let's save it for another day. The next guest in my show today hails from a small town in Tamil Nadu. He did his entire schooling in his regional language, which was Tamil, and English was not a part of his curriculum until he entered graduation into one of the most prestigious institutes in India, MIT Bhopal. He topped the university and was a valedictorian, and this was his father's wish. He achieved a lot of things after that in India and US as well, and returned back to India for the love of his country. The twist in the story is he didn't attend his graduation ceremony at last. Let's know more from Kannan Narayanan, Salesforce architect at Infosys. Hey Kanan, how are you?
Hello Kiran, it is my pleasure to be talking to you in this Talkies show. You are so generous in your introduction about me. I don't know if I deserve that. I hope I live up to that, some of those expectations. Thank you so much.
You totally deserve whatever I told today. And Kanan, we are really interested to know why you didn't attend your graduation ceremony, because we know that it was your father's biggest wish he had for you. What happened and how did he come to know about it?
As you said, I studied in regional language all along, right? I still remember on the very first day when myself and my father went to the college to get the admission. We were sitting at the porch of the university, and right side, we saw a very gigantic board, roll of honors board, which bore the names of
the valedictorians.
So my father saw that, and then he noticed it, and he told me that 4 years from now, when you graduate, I would like to see your name there, right?
Wow.
It was a very tall order. I didn't want to say anything negative to him, and I said, okay, I will try my best, right? I knew that I had a lot of hurdles to cross, including learning the regional language of that Central India, which is of course Hindi.
And also English as well.
Of course, absolutely. Yeah. First year was a little difficult. Still, I think I did reasonably well. I scored 70 plus percentage, overall. But second year onwards, I think the love of computers came naturally to me, and I did top my class. And from there was no looking back. In the final year, I was topper, valedictorian for the entire university. then I got an job opportunity through campus interview. I moved to Maharashtra, right?
Because of which you missed your graduation.
Absolutely. I just received a notification, postal notification, but I just had a very short period to, I couldn't travel, right? Couple of years went by. I moved to, US, and one of my birthdays, I received a, postal mail from my classmates, which had, the photograph of the Roll of Honors board, which had my name. Then
Awesome.
it was a very, very wonderful gift.
Yeah.
I shared it with my father afterwards, and I came to know that he became very emotional seeing that. And
You don't need to tell us anything. That reaction, that emotion is priceless.
absolutely.
Okay, so this is your studious side, but I also got to know about you being a crowd puller. Girls were around you all the time you were in college. What about that, Kanan? You know this side of yours.
I don't know how you got that, but in a way, yeah, our computer science class had about a pretty good number of mix, right? We were about 10 plus girl students, and then about 20
Wow,
of
so
us.
Mr. Tamil Nadu in Bhopal. Huh?
Oh, I don't know about that, but yes, invariably I used to be surrounded by lot of my teammates, right?
Okay.
Classmates. Of course, some of them happened to be girls also, but later I found out it was primarily because that they were looking at me to kind of discuss some of the assignments, and then largely trying to keep me away from any trouble, right?
So
Nothing
you
more,
were
nothing less.
not the Greek god, but the geek god, is it?
Could be maybe at that time, right?
That's fine. That's fine. We'll
Yeah.
get to know more about it from you later in the interview if we can.
Sure.
But Kanan, this has been a very inspirational journey for you, right? Coming from that background, you just didn't work in India, but also moved into the US as well.
Right.
You have settled down there. You were a mainframe developer, and then slowly moved into Microsoft technologies, and also led an integration project. How was this journey from Microsoft technologies into Salesforce? How did that happen? And yeah, how did you come to know about Salesforce?
Yeah, that's very interesting, right? That sometimes you believe in destiny, right?
Yeah.
So just extending to what you mentioned, so I relocated to US within the first couple of years of my professional journey, and I started as a mainframe, a developer mainframe professional. I continued for most part. At least my first decade was trying to kind of graduate within that mainframe journey, right? Still being technical, right? And then I always coming back to India was always in my, one of the to-do things, right? In my plan was there. And I was trying to prepare myself for that, return back journey. So as a result, I used to kind of, I pursued part-time masters, MS as well as MBA, because I really want to keep my options open, right? I always had that, belief that maybe when I come back, I would have been like maybe a decade or two, older, right? In the professional journey. So if I want to fit in the, Indian, the job stream and everything.
So you wanted to stay relevant according to the market.
Absolutely. My thought process was that, I had to probably fit into the management career somewhere, right? So that's where I was kind of trying to prepare myself. And meanwhile, I was also trying to, expand my technology background, and I moved to open source, then eventually to Microsoft technologies, like you said. I set up an entire, integration practice for my organization, etc. Right? And time came, beginning of last decade, about 2011, approximately. By the time I had lived in US, almost close to 2 decades, right? 18, 19 years, right? I've been far away from Indian, job market and all, right? And that's where I kind of started testing the, the waters here. And the reality really hit me, right? What I had in my mind, my impression versus what was the expectation in the job market was a little different, right?
Yeah, India has matured totally by then.
Absolutely mature, right? So gone are the days that they would kind of, roll a red carpet for somebody who has been in US,
Right.
as well as a generalist manager role and all, right? So I realized that I needed to be, further get into a niche area, right? This is where one of the lunch conversation I had with one of my colleagues, and again I'm still thankful to him. and he was a kind of a technical person, geek, right? So me and him, we were talking casually, and then he was telling me, hey, look, I just had a kind of orientation from one of these companies, and what is their the toll free number? I said, what?
Wow.
He said, hey, 1-800 no software. And then we are laughing, right? He said
1-800 no software.
No software, right? Can you imagine a company which is in the software business saying no software, right?
No software. Yeah, that's interesting.
Exactly.
Interesting.
That intrigued me, right? Then I started kind of doing some little bit of research, and then that's when I was kind of getting more into some of those cloud software as a service, etc. Right? And immediately I got pulled into it, attracted to this. Then I was talking to my manager, who had the responsibility of setting up the Salesforce practice also at that time, right? And he told me that, we just had a Salesforce, initial certificate, orientation for some of the folks, and then they were supposed to kind of do a certification also, but nobody is ready to, they are not raising their hands and they are not doing any certification. I have all these vouchers left with me. You want to try your luck, right? He challenged me. I said, why not, right? Then the next couple of months, I was kind of setting up a sandbox or a developer edition, and then I was kind of learning, and instantly I fell in love, because it was all refreshing, right? This I'm talking about again back in 2011, right? Very refreshing, and I usually feel like any validation of any learning that we have had, it's a formal certification will go with that, right?
Correct.
Of course, certification alone will not do anything, right? But then I had the learning I want to validate. I just went and appeared for, at that time, Dev 401, right? Developer certification. And I passed it, I think, with a reasonably comfortable score. Although those days they don't give a breakdown of scores and all. And my manager was very thrilled. He said, hey, now I want to give the responsibility of setting up a Salesforce practice also with you, right? But then I had a...
so you had to return back to India after that.
Exactly. That opened up a lot of opportunities for me. So with that renewed skill, I kind of re-looked at the job market, and fortunately I got an opportunity.
And you came back to India?
Yes, as a delivery manager. So that's how I kind of started my Salesforce journey.
Wonderful. I think you should thank your friend for having lunch with you and talking to you about Salesforce, and also remember the lunch you had. It's good to have it every day.
Absolutely. We are still friends, right? He still lives in Michigan, and we are still friends. I totally agree.
Cool. So, Kanan, you got into Salesforce. You've been in mainframes and Microsoft. What is it very unique about Salesforce which attracts you?
Yes. Definitely. See, many of the platforms, and again, although it's not a direct comparison, right? When you get in, right, the initial days, right, the first X months, whatever, right, weeks, you have learning in abundance, right? Everything that you come across, it's a learning for you, and you get to learn so much. With Salesforce, it is the case, like every month, right, every year, right? Because the versatility of this platform, the way it has been growing, right, it's just been tremendous, right? That one thing is kind of keeping me very much glued to this platform, right? As they say, right, innovation is the antidote to monotony or boredom, right? So Salesforce as a platform is definitely giving you that antidote for all of us, right? And help us stay relevant. Yes.
I totally agree with you. It has become very versatile. It's keeping on adding new stuff to its platform, which makes you, be on your feet. It's got, 3 releases every year. And,
absolutely.
So been there, done that, ideology or concept doesn't just work with Salesforce, right?
Exactly.
Awesome. So, Kanan, tell us something. What is that one advice you have for Salesforce developers these days? I
mean, I will break it into 2 parts, right? What advice I will give to younger self of myself, right? And then what I will give, because it's in a way it's a.
By the way, let me tell you, Kanan, Salesforce has returned you back your youth. You're in your feet now, learning every day.
Oh, 100%. That way I'm really, really thankful to this platform and this community, right? Because it really helped me to rediscover my identity, professional identity, no doubt.
Right.
So So if I were to give a first part, if I were to give an advice to my own younger self, right? I would say that, don't be afraid of, taking risk, right? All along, if I see, I had been a bit maybe conservative, right? So that's the advice I will give to myself, right?
Right.
But then when I really look at, fortunately in my current role and some of the additional activity I do, I get to interact with a lot of Gen Zs, right? Which is, I'm very fortunate. That's another reason, right? I'm really, I'm glued to this platform, right? And it keeps me very intact, emotionally and mentally, right?
Right.
So the Gen Z folks, they are not afraid of taking risks. So that part is already been given to them, right? Lot of macroeconomic conditions also help them provide a lot of career opportunities. So that part is taken care. However, one advice I would like to give, or a tip I would like to give is, I see a tendency of being very, impatient, right? People try to, come and start, associated with the platform, and they think that within a month or two, they think that they know everything, right?
Correct.
And they look for some other opportunity, right?
Right.
So that's the only area where I would say, whatever you do, excel yourself. Right?
Correct.
Even if it is just moving a paper from one place to another, right? You should be the best in what you do. Right?
Exactly.
That thought process of excellence, if it is there, and that is the biggest, companion you could have. So that's the only tip I would tell developers. So when you are really, exploring a platform, as an example, LWC, right? Try to kind of just, you have a lot of opportunities to learn the code snippet or get the code snippet from elsewhere. But
Correct.
yes, but kind of try to kind of dig deep and try to learn and go real deep, right? That's the only, again, a tip I would love to give to.
No, it's a wonderful advice, right? No fear of failure and have patience and go deep into what you want to learn.
Yes, absolutely.
That's a wonderful advice. Thank you so much, Kannan. It is really useful. Kannan, and you've been part of the community and have contributed in several ways. In fact, the other day you were interacting with one of the community groups in India, and you did give a talk. So what comes to your mind when you think of the Trailblazer community in the APAC region?
Oh, very, very vibrant community, right? And people have that enthusiasm, right?
Right.
And that DNA has been imbibed, right, by this Salesforce as an organization itself, right? The thought process of 1-1-1, right, and giving back to the community, right? That culture not only is there, in my opinion, within the organization, it has spread to the entire ecosystem, right? So that is being, spread out in these communities and all. So, true to that, and that also aligns with my, as you were saying, like, my association with a lot of communities and some of those, activities is also because of, my organization's, values that aligns closely with Salesforce also, right? We also have a lot of, CSR initiatives. So from those, some of those initiatives I used to connect with Campus Connect and then get the opportunity to, talk to a lot of, graduates and students.
Oh yeah,
right?
we know all you're doing for the community, and we know that you interact a lot with the youngsters who are the next generation of the future of Salesforce ecosystem. That is wonderful, and thank you so much for that. Thank you for being part of Dev Talkies, Kannan. It's been a pleasure hosting you, and we know that you are a big fan of John Grisham novels, which is why we are presenting you the latest book of John Grisham, Sule. It's a huge hit in the market. It's a story of a very talented youngster and his challenges and how he overcame them. And also, you need to know time when you're reading these novels. We know that you get really studious, and that is why we are also presenting you a nice cool watch so that you can keep track of time and spend some time with kids during this pandemic as well.
Oh, thank you so much. It's my pleasure, once again, being in this, show and then talking to all of you. And then, yes, John Grisham is one of my favorite, authors, right?
We know, yeah.
He writes a lot of everything about this lawyer and then the legal aspects, and most of his stories revolves
The
around
latest book is really interesting. I think you should go through this.
Absolutely, absolutely. It will rekindle my interest in his novels because I was a little bit, not catching up to some of his latest novels. So thank you so
goal.
much.
That's our goal.
Thank you so much.
Thank you, Kanan. Thank you so much for being part of Talkies. Not just exercise, you need to hydrate yourself with some fresh fruit juices and water. It's time for a quick technical tip.
I was recently formatting my laptop because it had become slow and lazy, and formatting is the best workout to keep it fit. So I had backed up all of my files. But I also had a couple of orgs that I had authorized using SFDX, and I forgot all the passwords quite some time ago. So how do I back up and restore them? One option is of course to reset all the passwords and reauthorize them, but there is an easier option. You can export the org authentication information to a JSON file. For that, you run this command, force org display, where you pass the username or alias of the org to be exported, and then pass the verbose and JSON flags, and dump the resulting output into a JSON file. If you look at the JSON file that's created, you can see that it includes an access token, username, and a few other details, but most importantly, it includes an SFDX auth URL, which will be used in subsequent steps. So the auth URL has a specific format, which you can find in the documentation, but you need not worry about that. It gets auto-generated for you when you run this command. Now all you need to do is back up this JSON file as is, and you run this step for all the orgs that you have. Later, once the formatting is complete, you need to run this command, the auth sfdx URL store command, and pass the JSON file from the previous step as a parameter. Optionally, you can also set an alias for this org. So what this command does is it authorizes an org based on the sfdx auth URL field present in the file. And that's pretty much it. You will now find this org in the list of authorized orgs. One important thing to remember is that whoever has this JSON file will be able to authenticate to your org. So keep it secure.
My next guest in the show today, she's from Walla Walla, Washington. She can sail like a ship, fly like a bird, dance like a charm, and lead like a boss. And she's one of the most emotionally intelligent and empathetic leaders I've ever met in my career. Let's welcome Kris Lande, SVP Trailblazer Ecosystem from Salesforce to Talkies. Hey Kris, how are you?
Hi, I'm doing well, thank you. And I do not know how to dance. I'm just going to say that right now. There will be no dancing.
You know what? You guys look totally out of control there in that pic. I just wanted to point out that. And I also didn't have a metaphor for the zombie pic, Kris. Just take us through these memories for us.
Well, the zombie pic is a special one. So that was from about 10 years ago. And my husband and I got married, just a couple months before Halloween that year. And so we thought, since we had just gotten married for Halloween, we should dress up as a zombie bride and groom. So that is that picture. And we were very terrifying. We had a lot of fun dressing up. I love costumes. So that was very fun. Very fun Halloween.
If I had to choose a metaphor for that, I could have put it as she can scare like hell as well. Just wanted to let you know.
Yes, exactly.
These pictures actually have wonderful stories behind them. But again, it all started from your childhood. Take us a little through your childhood, Kris.
Sure, yeah. So as you mentioned, I grew up in a small town in Walla Walla, Washington. We joke it's the town so nice that they named it twice. But I grew up there, small town. My parents actually divorced when I was pretty young. And so I grew up with my mom and my sister. My mom was a single working mom, and my sister was disabled. So kind of at a young age, I think I was kind of forced to grow up pretty early and pretty quickly. And so I think from a young age, I've been very independent. I've taken care of my sister when I was younger, as my mom was working. My mom was earning money to feed and house her family. So yeah, I think my childhood was definitely an interesting one. I grew up really quickly, really early. I started working at a pretty young age. So
Right.
yeah, I became really independent at a young age.
Yeah, so that brings me to my next question, which is, you started working at the age of 13. I was useless at that age. I was running around trees behind my house. Tell us a little about your first job, Chris.
Yeah. Well, it's funny because I couldn't wait to start working. I think because I saw my mom working. That was kind of what you did, and I was really excited to have my first job. And at 13, I begged my mom. At 13, I finally got my first paper route, which is basically where you go and you deliver newspapers to your local neighborhood. So I begged my mom, can I please have a paper route? I wanted to make my own money. So I was very excited. I got it at age 13, got my first paper route. And from there, I've always had jobs. I had the paper route. I've worked in restaurants. I worked at a law firm in high school. So it's something that from a very young age, I was always very cognizant that I wanted to build my resume. I was always thinking about that, like gotta get these great jobs so I can build my resume out. Because I had this model of my mom who was, she was a single working mother. And I saw that and I wanted to be that. And I was really focused on that, really focused on building that resume and having those great first jobs.
When I see you as a leader, a couple of things which we really observe if we are close to you is, one is you are very emotionally intelligent and you're hands-on as a leader, right? That emotional intelligence, I definitely know it comes from your childhood where you had to take care of your sister. And the other thing is about, you being very hands-on. Talk us a little about that as well.
Sure, yeah. Well, yeah, like you mentioned, I think growing up and really taking care of my disabled sister from a young age, I am definitely a caretaker. I love nurturing people. I love taking care of people. I love helping them do the best that they can. And I think that I bring that to the team, where I really want to help my team set them up for success to do the best work that they can. And I often joke that I like to just set up the team, get them going, and then get out of their way. Because we have such an amazing team, and everyone is so talented. And my job is really just to put the opportunities in front of them, and then get out of the way. And I think a lot of that kind of the reason like I love this work so much, like I think this team is doing some of the best work in the company. Like we are so lucky to be able to work with our trailblazers, work with our community, work with this amazing product, Salesforce. So I think I feel very passionate about the work that we do, and I feel very passionate about setting up the team to do the best work of their lives.
Absolutely. And you have done a bit of everything in Salesforce over the last 10 years. And this is something we know. Can you talk to us more about, what you have done?
Yeah. So I've been at Salesforce for about 10 years. And then before Salesforce, I was actually a Salesforce administrator. So I really came into Salesforce with a love of the Salesforce product. I came in with that admin mindset of solving problems. I love working in the product. So during my time at Salesforce, I've done a little bit of everything. I've built demos, I've delivered demos, I've done keynotes, I've done marketing, I've done social media marketing, I've done events, I've done a little bit of everything. And I always joke that it makes me a little dangerous because I know a little bit of everything. But
Yeah, no wonder you're hands-on.
exactly. And I'm hands-on because I love the work too. And I do think that people who really understand and know our customers, people who know our business, people who know the product, like that is the magic trifecta that makes you not only an amazing leader, but it makes you amazing at your job because you really understand those three things. and you can do a better job because you know those three things: the customer, the business, and the product.
Absolutely. Kris, I'm going to ask you something. This is something a lot of leaders do not agree to, but I'm going to ask you this. Should leaders know it all?
Oh, no, definitely not. I mean, speaking for myself, I definitely do not know it all. However, I have this amazing team who is so talented, and they are so amazing. And between all of us, between the team, like, we will get it done. But no, a leader should not know it all. A leader should be honest about when to say I don't know, when to say, like, I have this amazing person on my team and she knows that. And I think that really kind of builds this honesty, it builds transparency, and it really builds collaboration of a team working together and really leaning on each other's strengths, because not one person can know it all. Like, we all work together to be a better team and to work together with our shared talents and collaborate to bring magical things together.
Awesome. Thank you so much for answering that, Kris, because I hope leaders across the globe are listening to this. My next question, Kris, is, you've been a product of the Trailblazer community, you've been in the Trailblazer community. What makes it so special?
Yeah, so I mentioned before, I used to be a Salesforce admin before I came to work at Salesforce. So, and I've been in our Trailblazer shoes where, I had to completely implement Salesforce from an old system, and I had to go through all those problems of bringing the data over and, really dealing with, like, okay, how do we get everything over? How do we get things from the database into Salesforce? And so I've worked through all those problems, and when I was working through that, I found this amazing community of people, of Salesforce professionals who were helping me. And this was even before we had the online community as we know it today. But I remember this was back in like 2005, 2006. And I remember reaching out to people in the Salesforce community before we had the actual online community, and people were helping me. They were sharing their tips, they were sharing their tricks, they were telling me, okay, so to get it out of this CRM and get it into Salesforce, this is what you do. And people just went out of their way to help me answer my questions. And from that moment, this was 15 years ago. From that moment, I just knew that this community was special, and I had never seen anything like that. And I felt a part of this amazing community from day one. And this is why I am so passionate about the work that we do, because this community is unlike no other. And we really work together to help each other bring out the best in each other, whether that's working with the product, whether that's in your career or in your community. So I'm just super passionate about this community because I've really been on the other side of the community helping me be better at my job.
Absolutely, Kris. Salesforce makes these people feel special, and happy people, happy communities. I totally agree.
Exactly.
And Kris, TrailheaDX is around the corner, June 23rd.
It is.
Everybody's so excited about it. And this is an in-person attendance that we're looking at for a long time after the pandemic. Your thoughts on this, and what have you got to say to the Apex Salesforce developers?
Yeah, so I am pumped. So TrailheaDX is on June 23rd. So we're going to have an amazing main show hosted by the one and the only Parker Harris, who I know we all love, especially in the developer community. So really excited to bring some really awesome product news. So we have a great keynote. We have demos. We're going to have some sneak peeks into some future product that is coming. So highly encourage everyone to tune in June 23rd with Parker Harris. And then we, of course, have our entire day of episodes. So we have 5 different tracks this year for admins, developers, architects, IT leaders, and our whole ecosystem of Trailblazers, including our partners. So we have some awesome content in store, our great episodes. We'll get hands-on. You're going to learn a ton. June 23rd. Have I mentioned that it's June 23rd?
Yes,
23rd.
you have. You did. You did a couple of times. I know you're excited. Okay. So we are. We'll all be there for sure. Kris, thank you so much for being part of Dev Talkies. It's been a pleasure hosting you. Some great leadership lessons in this conversation. But before you go, it's a tradition in Dev Talkies. You are our super boss. You have given us a budget, so we have the flexibility to give away some gifts to our guests. So you are our guest today. Because you and your husband sail, pretty much most of the year, you're going to get these captain caps. I didn't know which one of you is the captain there, so I didn't want you guys to fight. So I'm giving you 2 captain caps and a couple of
perfect. We're
black sailor t-shirts. Co-captains, there you go.
Perfect. We are co-captains. This is amazing. Thank you so much. We will definitely enjoy these.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Kris, again, and see you soon.
Thanks, Karen.
Physical fitness is only one part of your wellness. You should be mentally fit too. On that note, let's move to Aditya's game show and see who's sharp.
Chess is not the only game that can keep your mind sharp. In fact, I can think of another game which also has black and white squares, is incredibly fun and frustrating to play, and is most commonly found in newspapers, the crossword puzzle. But the puzzle is not a game per se, because you solve the clues alone. But after watching a couple of videos on YouTube, I realized we can convert this puzzle into a competitive game, which is what we are going to play today. So let's welcome our competitors, Kris and Kanan, with a huge round of applause. So Kris and Kanan, do you love solving crossword puzzles?
Oh, I love them. I am so excited.
I love to create one.
Okay.
Not so much.
Okay.
Probably in solving it. So we will find out today. And Kris, good to meet you finally.
Yes, nice to meet you.
Yeah, and I for one was never able to solve a crossword puzzle completely. Always like 2 or 3 words are left towards the end, so I give up. So let's see.
Is that why you're making us play now?
Yes.
Yeah, looks like.
I realize I'll create the questions this time.
Yeah.
Okay, so here is how the game works. There are going to be 3 rounds. Each round is going to have a different theme. And since you two are competing with each other, I'm going to be the one who reveals the word and the clue. And you both are going to get buzzers. So once I reveal the clue, if you know the answer to that clue, hit the buzzer. The person to hit the buzzer first gets to give an answer. If the answer is correct, you get 10 points. If not, your opponent is going to get a chance to answer, and if they give it correctly, they're going to get those 10 points. That's it. Incredibly simple, no more rules.
Okay.
So
Sounds good.
before we get started, I want to congratulate Rohit, Shibu and Ashmit, who are the winners from audience from our last month's game show. And as usual, all of you watching us today, participate in along with us using the chat window on YouTube. So with that, let's get started. So round 1 is what I call back to basics. So we are going to have 3 words, and I'm going to show you the clue on the right hand side. So hands on your buzzers. The first word that you're going to see is a 4-letter word, and the clue is baby cow. Okay, so Kanan has hit the buzzer first. So Kanan, what do you think the answer is?
Cough.
Perfect. You gave it a slight pause. I was a little bit worried, but yes, the answer is cough.
No, I was thinking like, something related to Salesforce, some character or something. I was just thinking about it.
Nah, just back to basics,
Okay.
kindergarten stuff. So
Thank you.
okay, so that's a good start. So Kanan, 10 points. Alright, so the next word we are going to look at is another 4-letter word. This time you have the 3rd letter, which is C. And the clue is 2.54 centimeters. Okay, Kris has buzzed first. So Kris, what's the answer?
It's an inch.
Cool.
Perfect. So Inch is the right answer. And the final clue, which is now a 6-letter word with the 5th letter is I. And the clue is capital of Germany. Okay, so Kannan, you have pressed and Kris follows. So Kannan, what is the answer?
Berlin.
Perfect. So you're good at geography. Berlin is the right answer. So Kris, you get, so Kannan, you get 10 more points. And that's the end of round 1. Pretty simple, right? Back to basics, just 3 words. So at the end of round 1, Kannan is leading with 20 points. Kris closely following with 10 points. Now let's move on to round 2, which I call 1,000 words. Why? Because a picture is worth 1,000 words. And all the clues in this round are going to be pictures. So look at a picture and guess the word. All right?
Okay.
Okay, so
Right.
this is how the puzzle is going to look. This time it's going to be 6 words. Most of the words are 8-letter words, but it's going to be pretty simple. The pictures are easy. All right, so the first word, we'll start off with a simple 6-letter word. And the clue is, what's this country? Kris has buzzed. So Kris, what's the answer?
The answer is France.
Amazing. Yes,
Oh, nice.
the answer is France. And I find all of these European countries very confusing. There are so many in that small space. But yes, France is the right answer.
Very nice.
I lived in France for a couple years, which is probably the only reason I knew that.
Okay. So the next word is an 8-letter word. And this time the clue is, what's this emoji?
Is it confused?
Wow, did you Google this?
Not at
Because
all.
yes,
Not at all.
The answer is confused.
No, I was really confused. I was thinking sad and everything. I
felt confused.
Okay, so that's a good emoji to remember.
Yeah.
Okay, perfect. So confused is the emoji name. Let's go with the next
And
word.
confused are the contestants as well.
Yes.
Yes,
Of
we are.
course.
Okay, so now we have another 8-letter word. The 4th letter is N. And this time you're supposed to guess who this celebrity is. Okay, Kanan again buzzed first. So Kanan,
I'm guessing looks like it's Elon Musk.
yes, you are correct. So if you know them from a bit of face, you know them too well. So it is Elon Musk. Do you know anything else about Elon Musk? When was he born? No? Never mind. There are no bonus points.
Okay.
Just
Thank you. Thank you.
So this next one is again an 8-letter word. This time you have 2 letters, R and E. And I'm going to show you 4 pictures. So have you ever played that 4 pictures, 1 word, where all the 4 pictures represent a single word? So that's what this is going to be. These are your picture clues.
Okay.
Okay, so Kris, you have buzzed just in time. So what's the answer?
I'm totally, internet, I guess. I don't know. I see surfing.
Yes.
There's a spine. There's some wires. There's Google. I don't
Yeah, it
know.
makes
This is a
sense.
hard one.
Amazing.
That's what I said.
So the first picture represents surfing, which is internet surfing. The second picture is Google, which is an internet giant. Third one are internet cables. And the fourth one is internet backbone. So yeah, all of those 4 represent the internet. Alright, so anyways, you get your 10 points. Now the next one is going to be even different. So we are going to deal with another 8-letter word which ends with S. And this time I'm going to show you a part of a logo. And you have to guess what the brand name is. Okay, and the part of the logo is... Okay, Kris has buzzed again.
Oh. I buzzed and then I realized that I thought I knew it, but what I was going to say does not end with an S.
Okay.
I was going to say Kellogg, but
Yeah.
but it does not end with an S.
Okay.
So I guess I have to forfeit.
Are you sure? Because the answer is Kellogg's. Yes,
That
you
is
got
what-
it right, but
Kellogg's.
yeah,
Oh,
it ends
okay.
with an S.
Kellogg's plural. Okay.
You know, Kris starts with K, Kannan starts with K, Kellogg starts with K. Let's call it a happy coincidence.
Yes.
Okay.
Per.
Okay. So, Kris is currently leading in this round with 30 points. Kannan, you have 20. And the final word is this one with 5 letters. The fourth letter is K. Can you name this character? All of us watch Tom and Jerry.
Yes,
We know
yes.
who Tom and Jerry are.
Correct.
But do we know the dog? The poor dog. So time to pay more attention to Tom and Jerry. The answer is
True.
Spike.
Ah,
Spike. Oh.
nice.
Alright, so at the end of round 2, so Kris has an overall 40 points and Kannan also has 40 points, so you both are tied,
Nice.
which is what I don't
Okay.
like, which is
Yes.
where round 3 comes into
Now we go
picture.
into Salesforce.
Okay.
Yes, and this is what I call
Salesforce is our wheelhouse. This is going to be good.
Yeah.
that you should decide after the game because so this is the puzzle that you're going to solve. Again, 6 words. This time the words are huge, but the clues are going to be simple enough. And we are going to start with in-app confetti.
Yes.
What is the feature that lets us add in-app confetti? This is exactly why I added this word, because everyone knows what it does,
Yes.
but
yes.
no one
I know,
remembers.
like, that's part of sales path.
Yeah.
Yeah, but what is the feature name people don't pay attention to? So, okay, so the feature name is Celebration.
Oh man, I was saying celebrate.
Celebration.
Yeah. I was saying celebrate.
Okay, but no, so it's Celebration. Okay, so now do you still think Salesforce is easy?
Okay.
I take it back.
Okay, so the next word is now we'll deal with a simple 5-letter word. The third letter is O, and the clue is badges and points. I have none. So Kannan, you have buzzed.
I'm guessing from the Trailhead Ranger rank perspective, is it Scout?
Yes.
Nice.
Okay, so Kannan, 10 points. You have broken the ice with this round. All right. So the next word is again a 6-letter word. The third letter is T. And what is the Einstein API that categorizes unstructured text into user-defined labels?
Good one. Einstein API.
So audience, have you been able to answer all of the questions so far?
They probably have. They're probably thinking that Kanan and I do not know our stuff.
No, not at all. Not at all.
No,
There are quite a lot to learn.
Even the
right?
simplest of answers, you won't be able to answer if you are put on the spot. So it's totally acceptable.
Absolutely, absolutely. Yes.
Okay, so I can't give you too long.
Okay.
The answer is intent.
Intent. Okay.
So it's the intent API that classifies
Alright.
it. Alright, so the next one is again a 6-letter word. The third letter is E. And learn new skills, win fun prizes. What is the answer? So Kris, yes, give me the answer.
I know this one. Quests.
Yes, perfect. So the answer is quests.
Wow. Okay.
Yay.
Oh, nice.
Finally have one.
Nice, nice.
Perfect. So, Kris, you have 10 points. Both of you are again aiming for a tie.
Hopefully. Hopefully, yeah.
We're trying.
Yes.
Alright, so this one is fun. So a 6-letter word, the third letter is S, and the clue is Salesforce goes Hollywood.
Hollywood.
First goes Hollywood.
I like this one.
If you like it so much, you should answer it.
Alright. I
You can
will.
get some points on the board here.
Okay, so I will answer this. The answer is Disney.
Wow. Yes. Okay.
So Salesforce is now an innovation partner for the Disney Studio Lab.
Okay.
That's
Yes.
right.
And
Yes.
what does that mean? Premier show tickets for Black Widow and all the other Marvel movies.
You got
I
it.
guess so.
That's a good one. That's the extra perks.
And now you have some points on the board.
Yes, but now I'm very happy because
There won't be any tie.
this is going to be a tiebreaker. the final.
We'll see. We'll see about that.
Yeah.
We should see. Yeah, in fact, if you don't. Okay, please answer. Some of you, at least one of you, please.
Someone please answer.
Alright, so the clue for the longest word on the board, this time you have like 2 letters already, an R and an E.
Okay.
The longest word on the board, the clue is acquired and now known as Salesforce B2B Commerce Cloud. Kannan, you have buzzed. What is the answer?
Cloud craze.
Amazing. Yes, the answer is Cloud Craze. And with that,
Nice.
Kanan, you have
For the win.
won this game. Congratulations and a huge round of applause.
Thank you.
Alright, so hope both of you had fun. And audience, I hope you had fun as well. So yes, I'm going to get back to solving my crossword puzzle on paper. And I'm going to see you next month with a brand new game show.
Time for a quick technical tip.
We all know how to use console in Chrome Developer Tools, but most of us use it exhaustively to throw error log messages during front-end debugging. Today's tip is about how to use the console beyond throwing the log messages. Let's start with what we commonly use. We use console.log to log a simple message. Similarly, we can log warnings and errors. The benefits of using these different types of messages is you can easily filter the messages in the console in the developer tools. Let's check it. I have added the log messages to this sample component from LWC Recipes. Let's click Show Messages to see our console messages. Here in the Chrome Developer Tools console, you can see the info message in black color, warning in yellow, and error in red. You can filter the messages to see the warnings or errors. You can also filter from the sidebar. This component also shows the contacts if we click the Load Contacts button. Okay, let's now see a couple of console API methods that will be very handy for debugging this component. I'm back in VS Code, and this is the imperative call that gets contacts. I can examine the return results using the console.dir method. Let's check the output in console. Here you can see that it shows all the fields and data of the result set in a friendly JSON format. We can make it even better. Let's use a method called console.table and see how it works. Now you can see the result set in easy to read table format. Great. What about if you are debugging a lot of code with a lot of result sets? You can organize the console output to debug easily. Let's do that. I'm using a method called console.groupCollapsed and give it a title, contacts. You can wrap this group of console API calls with console.groupEnd method. Now if you go back to the browser, you can see the group named contacts. If you open it, you can see the console API output. Is it interesting? Please let us know if you like the tip. And also let us know if you want a specific tip, and we'll be very happy to do it.
96, 97, 98, 99.
Wake up, Kiran.
If you want to access all the technical content which has been shared as part of the episode today, please click on this link and you will get access to the trail mix. Cometh the hour, cometh the force. The force that I'm talking about today is not a single person. It's a group of wonderful, passionate people. Yes, I'm talking about the India Trailblazer community who have conducted vaccine drives all over India to save thousands of lives. Thank you and congratulations to all of you for making this near impossible dream possible for us. Along with being physically and mentally fit, eating right and staying hydrated, it is very important we sleep well. On that note, hope you have enjoyed yet another round of knowledge, inspiration and fun. Write code, stay safe and do good. This is Kiran signing off with love.
Hello, everyone.